Oke, sebelumnya kita sudah belajar tentang how to make inferences from conversation. Nah, sekarang kita fokus untuk uh, making inferences from description. Descriptions ini berarti dari beberapa paragraf. Kita lihat di sini ya. Kita pelajari bersama. In each of these paragraphs, someone is talking about his or her job without stating what the job is. Working with another student, inform what the job is and write it below. Jadi deskripsi paragraf di bawah ini itu nanti kita bisa menyimpulkan apa pekerjaan yang dideskripsikan dalam paragraf ini. Yeah, let's read together the descriptive paragraph. The minute you climb in, you start feeling excited. There's nothing so exciting for me, not even a jet plane. You get in and start up and off you go. And then you've got to pay attention every minute. There's always someone doing something crazy who's likely to end up under your wheels. I sometimes think it's a miracle if I can get all the way there with no accidents. You've always got to be thinking ahead. That's hard when you have to keep going for so many hours alone. There's a lot of people in this job who have stomach problems from the tension. They lose their hearing too because of the noise. You've got to be tough on this job, you know. Nah, kira-kira pekerjaan apa ini? Ya, jadi setiap Anda climb in, ya, setiap mulai mendaki, you start feeling excited. There's nothing so exciting for me, not even a jet plane. Bahkan lebih exciting itu ketimbang pakai jet plane ya. You get in and start up and off you go. Mau masuk, hidupkan dan pergi gitu ya. And then you've got to pay attention every minute. There's always someone doing something crazy who's likely to end up under your wheels. I sometimes think it's a miracle I can get all the way there with no accidents. You've always got to be thinking ahead. That's hard when you have to keep going for so many hours alone. Ya, jadi ini seperti ya pilot mungkin ya, karena dia harus mengendarai ya suatu kendaraan, di mana kendaraan itu membawa banyak orang dan it's a miracle if I can get all the way there with no accidents. Jadi ini mungkin suatu bentuk kendaraan yang agak ekstrim ya, yang membawa banyak orang sehingga yang mengendarai feels that uh, it's a miracle, keajaiban. Wah, sangat ekstrim berarti pekerjaan ini. Walaupun mungkin clue-nya belum cukup untuk menebak apa pekerjaan ini ya. Kemudian yang berikutnya, paragraf kedua. My day starts at 4 o'clock in the morning. Jadi hari dimulai dari jam 4. Wah, mulai jam 4 dia ini. Ya, that's when my feet hit the floor. I'm at work at 5:30. Wow, dia harus berada di tempat kerjanya pada jam 5:30. And I finish at 2 in the afternoon. Oh, tapi dia selesai lebih cepat jam 2 siang. In between, I do a lot of walking. Jadi pekerjaannya membutuhkan aktivitas berjalan. I wear out a lot of shoes each year. Jadi dia sering berganti sepatu, maybe 4 or 5 pairs. 4 sampai 5 kali dia ganti sepatu. And my poor feet at the end of the day, they are really hurting. Jadi sehari bekerja itu kakinya sakit. The other problem is the dogs. Sometimes you can make friends with them and they all follow you around, but other times they can be mean. I've been beaten a couple of times. Jadi masalah pekerjaan dia itu adalah anjing. Sometimes bisa diajak berteman, but other times they can be mean. Kadang-kadang anjingnya itu bisa jadi kejam. I've been beaten, digigit dianya ya. Beberapa waktu. I cannot say as I care much for dogs anymore. But it's not all bad, my job. One thing I like is the way you meet lots of people. You learn all about their private lives too. It never gets boring. Ya, jadi pekerjaan apa ini kira-kira ya? Yang mulai dari jam 5.30 selesai jam 2, butuh berjalan kaki yang banyak, ya berganti sepatu sampai 4 sampai 5 pasang. Ya, berarti dia harus berjalan ini ya. Kemudian the problem is dogs, berarti dia harus jalan dari rumah ke rumah ya. Jadi dia menemui anjing kadang yang bisa diajak berteman, kadang tidak. Ya, tapi juga I like is the way you meet a lot of people. Jadi orang ini bertemu banyak orang. You learn all about their private lives too. It never gets boring. Pekerjaan apa kira-kira ini? Dia mempelajari orang private lives, kehidupan sehari-hari orang tersebut dan tidak pernah merasa bosan. Ya mungkin dia ini apa ya, konsultan mungkin ya. Oke ya, berikutnya. The most important thing is to understand people. You've got to know what they are thinking. Hal paling utama adalah memahami orang-orang. You've got to know what they are thinking. Anda harus mengetahui apa yang mereka pikirkan. If you can figure out, you can get them to do anything. They come in with an idea about what they want. You get them talking about themselves, about what they like. Jadi mereka datang ke Anda berkonsultasi. Berarti pas ini ya, ini berarti semacam psikolog ya. If it's a man, you talk about baseball or something like that. If it's a woman, you ask her about fashions. That way they get comfortable with you. You ask them a lot of questions and get them saying yes. Then they just get into the habit of saying yes. In the end, you can put them into anything you want if you are really good. They need a little car for the city. You send them. Oh, ini berarti mereka adalah sales ya, marketing, sales, marketer. Of course, I wouldn't really do that. It wouldn't be right. You've got to sell on this job. Betul kan, sales. But you also have to be fair. It's not fair to take advantage of people too much. There are some people in this business who do anything, but I don't believe in that. Gitu kira-kira ya. Okay, next, we also can make inference from short stories and plays. Jadi making inference juga bisa kita lakukan untuk menyimak short story, cerita pendek, and plays, drama ya. The authors of novels, stories, or plays often do not explain everything about the characters or situation. Jadi penulis novel, stories, or plays ya, novel, cerita atau drama, sering tidak menjelaskan everything, segala sesuatunya tentang karakter atau situasi yang ada dalam cerita tersebut. In order to follow the writer's ideas, You need to read between the lines. Jadi kita memang harus membaca ya antar script line itu ya. That means you need to infer the author's meaning. Jadi kita harus menyimpulkan, infer, menginterpretasikan ya apa yang dimaksudkan oleh si penulis from the descriptions or the dialogue, dari deskripsi atau dialognya. Okay, in the following exercises, ini latihan berikutnya, you will practice making inferences about characters and situation. Jadi belajar making inference untuk menebak karakter dan situasi yang terjadi. Remember that you do not need to understand every word. Jadi semua kata itu sebenarnya tidak harus dipahami satu persatu. If you find words you do not know, jika bertemu kata yang tidak diketahui, skip them and read on. Terus saja baca ya. Look for the clues that will help you infer the answers to the questions. Jadi latihan berikutnya bisa dikerjakan secara mandiri. Di sini ada scene from Red Carnation, jadi ada dialog drama ini ya, scene from Red Carnations judulnya ya. Kemudian drama dari Glenn Hughes itu ya. Jadi tinggal dibaca dari baris ke baris ya, kemudian menjawab pertanyaan berikut. What is the relationship between two characters? Where are they? What happened before this passage in the play? Who are the women they are meeting? What do you think will happen after this in the play? Ya, gitu ya. Kemudian ini adalah dari cerita pendek ya. Juga bisa kalian kerjakan secara mandiri. Berikutnya ini adalah making inferences about opinions. Ya. Writers of book or movie reviews of magazine and newspaper articles often do not tell their opinions directly. You have to infer their opinions or point of view by reading between the lines. In the following exercises, infer the writer's points of view from their descriptions and choice of words. Jadi ada opini di sini, opini terkait review dari buku yang exercise 10. Kita baca ya. Read the short book reviews below. Ini adalah review dari sebuah buku. And infer the answers to the questions that follow. Discuss together ya. Kita baca, kita coba baca dan jawab pertanyaannya bersama. A Tale of Texas by Kurt Wheeler. Ya, jadi judulnya A Tale of Texas. This modern cowboy story is set in 1949. Jadi cerita ini terkait modern cowboy di 1949. It follows three young men on a wild ride on horseback out of Texas and into northern Mexico. Oh, ini perjalanan ya. Perjalanan three young men on a wild ride on horseback, perjalanan mengendarai kuda, out of Texas, keluar Texas to northern Mexico, ke Meksiko. Their adventure takes them out of 20th century America and into a totally different world where it is still possible to live with horses and nature. Ya, ini perjalanannya di abad 20 ya, dari Amerika menuju ke beberapa bagian negara lain ya. Masih bisa ditempuh pakai kuda. There are the bad guys and good guys as in the classic films. Yeah, but the book is not just a rewrite of a John Wayne movie. The characters are convincing and the descriptions of the natural world are truly brilliant. The style is ambitious. We are reminded of Faulkner, and it could easily have become terribly stylized. But this author has the skill to make it work. The masterful writing and action-filled plot keep the reader's attention throughout. We hope the second volume that the author promises will be as satisfying as this. So, what is the reviewers' opinion of this book? Ya, opininya bagaimana kira-kira? Opininya positif ya. Kita lihat di sini ya. Jadi, there are bad guys and good guys as in the classic films. But the book is not just a rewrite of John Wayne movie. Jadi bukan hanya bercerita ulang. The characters are convincing. Karakter-karakternya meyakinkan. And the descriptions of natural world are truly brilliant. Nah, ini menunjukkan opininya itu positif ya, positif opinion. How can you tell? Ya, ini tadi seperti yang jelaskan tadi, opini dari book reviews ini ya. Isinya menggambarkan bahwa karakter-karakter di buku itu meyakinkan, penyajian terkait dunia yang masih natural itu brilian gitu ya. Kemudian plotnya ya keep the reader's attention gitu ya. From what you have read in this review, do you think that you would like to read this book? Nah, jadi menurut Anda, apakah Anda membaca isi buku ini? Book review itu biasanya itu sinopsis ya. Nah, sebelum kita baca isi buku kan, kita baca sinopsis untuk menentukan keputusan kita mau membaca buku ini atau tidak. Oke, review kedua ini bisa dilihat ya. After Hours. This novel about three people who work for an internet company in New York offers a modern twist on one of the oldest themes in literature, the love triangle. The setting is just what you might expect at a dot-com company, a large open office building equipped with a gym ya. Sampai terakhir ini bisa dibaca ini ya. Dan kemudian bisa menjawab pertanyaannya yang cuma dua ini. What is the reviewer's opinion of this book? Apakah opininya positif? Kita lihat the characters don't seem to have any other life beyond the office. Jadi sepertinya agak negatif. Unfortunately, we can guess from the beginning what the outcome is going to be. Jadi endingnya bisa ketebak ya. Jadi opininya sedikit negatif ya terkait buku ini. Jadi apakah Anda mau membaca buku ini selanjutnya atau tidak?